breaking barriers and bridging the gaps between patients and doctors. Welcome to Brainstorming with the Docs and your co-hosts, Dr. Glenn Harrison and Dr. Kolby Condos.
All right, everyone, welcome back to this week's episode of Brainstorming with the Docs. I'm Dr. Kolby Condos, my co-host, Dr. Glenn Harrison.
Hey, man.
How's it going?
I'm doing great. I like this topic. I think it's kind of fun.
Yeah, this is a fun one. This one was kind of interesting because it came about because we had a bunch of patients. I mean, it happens quite a bit. Like, well, how we doing? Kind of fell off the wagon this weekend and didn't necessarily do what I was supposed to do. And, now I'm feeling like I took a step back a little bit. So it got us talking. And when we were coming up with this, it's like, why is our health so dependent on the day of the week? And what are some strategies that we can implement to try to maintain that health throughout the entire week rather than Monday through Friday, followed by 2 days of setbacks?
That's right. That's exactly right. In summary. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if this is your first time listening on Spotify, Apple, wherever you're consuming your podcasts, or you're watching on YouTube, please hit like and subscribe and turn on notifications so that you continue to get notified when the new content rolls out. So let's talk about it. This one's a fun one. Won't be a super long one. It's like that song. We're here for a good time, but we're not here for a long time.
That's right. Yeah. So when it was funny when we were talking about it, this days of the week, how our days of the week affect our health, and it really affects our patterns. And there's some psychology involved in it, but weekends versus weekdays, there's certain structure associated with both. And when we shift from one to another, there's a necessity to change routine. But if we fall right off the rails, everything starts to fall apart. And the routine on the weekday versus the weekend is the piece. So there's a lot to it. I know we talked about it. Our day-to-day schedules that we follow during the week make it easy to follow more of a schedule. So if you have nothing on the calendar, or nothing that day, it's like you can't get anything done almost.
Yeah.
Right. But if we have some routine, whether it's a work schedule or whatever, and I know you had an example. Do you want to talk about that example we were kind of putting together?
Yeah. When we were spitballing this, I mean, an example of this is like my daughter goes to dance class on Tuesdays, right? So I know that I'm going to have to cook dinner. Okay. That's just like what our schedules look like. My wife takes my daughter to dance class. So I know that either Monday night or Tuesday morning, I'm going to have to get up, get everything ready. Otherwise I'm going to be behind the 8 ball and I'm going to be in trouble, right? I don't have anything ready. So that rigidity in my schedule, knowing that routine allows me to be successful because I know like it is my responsibility tonight. I better have a plan, not like, hey, I know it's 5 o'clock. What do you want for dinner? Like, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. I have it all prepared. So I think that having a little bit of rigidity and regularity to your schedule makes it a little bit easier to put yourself in a position that succeeds. I mean, all of us were that college student or that, early 20s kid that was like flying by the seat of their pants.
Yeah. Procrastination.
Yeah. So the opposite of that.
Yeah. And even like our podcast, we're recording on a Tuesday. So, we just block that time out. It is what it is. And if we tried to change it in real time, we would
never
be thrown off.
We've tried it. It never works.
Yeah, you're right. We've tried it. It never works. So, we were talking about what day, days of the week and how they affect us. I thought that was funny, like you put here, why do Mondays suck? Right.
Yeah.
There's I've never met anybody that said they like Monday unless it's their regular day off. But they suck mostly because of sleep deprivation.
Mm-hmm.
Friday night, people go to a little bit later because they don't have to get up, no accountability on Saturday. So they go to bed a little bit later on Friday, wake up a little bit later on Saturday. Maybe it's a 1 hour variance from a weekday. And then Saturday, they don't have to wake up early on Sunday. So they slip a little farther. So now it's maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours, up to 2 hours. So now they're waking up, they've just thrown their sleep schedule off 2 hours. They're going into Monday. Well, if they woke up 2 hours later, they can't go to sleep at the proper time. So they're going to be a minimum of 2 hours sleep deprived Monday morning, just out of the box. That's if everything's working normally.
That's if you maintained all the other facets of your life.
Facets, but it doesn't, right? Because the sleep is just one aspect of following out of the routine. So that's when, Mondays I think it was there was statistics on this, and I'm going to butcher it. I think it was Mondays were one of the. Well, we may have talked about this with cardiovascular health or podcast, but
Oh, it was daylight savings time.
yeah, daylight savings time.
Yeah.
So that was the highest, one of the highest risks of heart attacks. Well, why that day? That's only 1 hour of schedule variance. A weekend is usually 1 to 2 hours. So every Monday is a heart attack risk or a car accident, right? We even talked about
that was a
motor
statistic
vehicle
we pulled
accidents
as well.
and stuff like that. So we think, okay, it's just a crappy day Monday, we're tired. No, that's your health is dependent on Monday.
Mhm.
How you're, and you've done this and I've done this. If you have a crappy Monday, it's just a snowball throughout the week. You've got a few days, and you talked about it. Well, Tuesday, we're still recovering from sleep deprivation. You're not going to recover in one day. Wednesday rolls around, we start feeling a little bit better. We might have some time to prepare food. We might even start eating a little bit better. And then what happens on Thursday?
Starting to check out already. It's like, oh, it's super close to the weekend. I got 1 day left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's real. Even we talked about marketing strategies. Big marketing firms, what they do is they realize people start checking out on Thursday out of their work routine, their work day, and they start scrolling on social media earlier. So they start releasing their posts earlier in the work day than later, because they know people are checked out already around 2:30, 3 o'clock versus 5. So Thursday, yeah, we're checking out, and we're all ready to go for Friday, where we're emotionally checked out. and even you made that comment here. There's even gyms. There's nobody in a gym on a Friday. That was my favorite day to go to the gym, because no one's there.
I don't go to the gym on Friday. We talk.
Yeah, but it, there's a lot to the day of the week, and it's not like our health changes on the days of the week, different days of the week. It's just
what our patterns have done.
Yeah. In our belief system based off it. And that in no way, shape, or form does that mean that we kind of have to live a Nazi lifestyle where it's like we got to be a drill sergeant ready at a certain time all the time. Mm-hmm. But I think we got to be aware that if we deviate from our path too much, that there's
consequences, right?
Consequences, yeah.
Whether you realize them immediately or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the whole point of this whole thing, because I mean, we see it all the time, and obviously we see it in extreme cases, right? Yeah. So most of you guys listening to this are probably not going to be the people that come in and are like, I sabotaged my health efforts in 2 days, because that has happened.
Yeah.
With patients,
Yeah.
God, I was doing super, super good. I've been on this thing, and then I had a cousin come from wherever, and we went off the rails, and now I'm back to square one. Hopefully that's not you guys, but you need to realize that there are, it's a very real thing. So, I mean, it wouldn't be brainstorming with the docs if we didn't try to give you some healthy alternatives or some lifestyle, maybe.
That's right.
Strategies. So go ahead, take it away.
Okay. So filling up your free time with healthy alternatives. So if you do have a little bit more free time, instead of, kind of going off the rails, like you said, you can replace things. Even if if you have some time, instead of meeting friends at bars and excessively drinking, that 7 barrels of vodka or whatever you're doing, there could be there. And randomly, you could have something that's a scheduled deadline. So if you are going out, have a hard stop versus letting it just run too far. You can still get the outing in. Hopefully
your cup's still filled up because you saw your friends, right?
Yeah. It's not feeling like you're being withdrawal, but there is a kind of hard stop where you can kind of go on your way. And this is probably more important. More people are more rigid with outings on the weekdays because they got the accountability and everything and the commitment for work the next day. It's the weekends where things drift, and allowing things to drift without having this internal calendar is therapeutic. But do we let things slide so far where it starts really disrupting our rhythms? That's, I think, the most important thing. And there's a balance there.
Yeah, there is. And you want a perfect example of this? Like, I literally just thought about this because I don't know about my excuse. My hard cutoff is like, hey, we got a babysitter. We got to go home. Right.
Uh-huh.
So that's a rigid thing for us because we told them we'll be home at this time. That's what time we're going to be home. But you want to know how much your sleep schedule impacts like your emotional well-being or your mental capacity. Just let your 5-year-old stay up an hour and a half past their bedtime and see how the next day works for you. Because that happens.
Yeah,
there's a real thing.
There's an experiment right there.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do it. I will not take one for the team. I've done this before. I'm not going to repeat that again.
Experiment in real time.
For posterity's sakes. Yeah. So have a hard deadline, something, or if you're going to, say you're going to a movie, move it up a little bit, Hey, the movie, there's a 5:30 showing or a 7. Well, let's go with 5:30,
That's right. I think we want to pull out of responsibilities when we have the weekend. And I think we can pull out of some of them, but if we pull out of all of them, then again, those consequences are there. Monday should not be, oh, Monday sucks. If Monday sucks, that means you're sleep deprived, you're beating up your health, you're beating up your mitochondria, you're adding inflammation, any existing problem you have in your body is going to be worse. And if you do it every Monday, that's 1/7. But it's not just going to be done on Monday. The Tuesday, you're still going to be recovering. So there's 2/7 of your entire life.
Right. Times 52.
Times 52. That's a lot of bad days. So we talked about regular sleep cycle. We've talked about sleep. If you go to sleep at 10 on a weekdays, try to carry that through. So don't deviate too far on the weekends. And, we've talked about sleep hygiene. We've talked about circadian rhythm.
There's literally podcasts on all this stuff.
Yeah.
All that stuff, at least.
So the day of the week does determine your health, but it's only because it changes your habits. So be conscientious of it. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think we all have challenges with it. I know I do too. But I know if I let my Friday night slip a little bit too far, my Saturday is going to slip a little bit farther, and Monday is going to be I hate Mondays, and that shouldn't happen. So
yeah.
So if you guys have any questions, comments for us, you can always get a hold of us at info@brainstormingwiththedocs.com. You can find information about us or more information on our websites at northlakescheropractic.com for me. Dr. Glenn's is drgharrison.com. And again, hit like and subscribe and keep watching because we're going to continue to roll out new content like this each and every week. Hopefully you get something out of this one and the next one.
Sounds good, Dr. Kolby. I look forward to the next one. You have a great sleep.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.